Hello and welcome to the United Devil channel with me, JB. I hope we're all doing extremely well on this really important day for the club, the 6th of February 2026. Now, this is the anniversary of the Munich Air Disaster that happened in 1958, and as such, and out of respect, there will be no live shows today. The Munich Air Disaster 1958, a Manchester United story that changed football forever. On the 6th of February 1958, football stood still. Not just Manchester, football. What happened that cold afternoon in Munich would change the club and the sport forever. The Busby Babes. Manchester United in the 1950s weren't just winning, they were changing the game. At a time when most clubs relied on experienced, older professionals, Sir Matt Busby took a huge gamble. He trusted the youth. The team became known as the Busby Babes, a group of gifted footballers, many developed through United's own youth system at the Cliff. Their average age was just 22, some were still teenagers. They played football with freedom, bravery, joy and attack-minded, fearless. They won the First Division title in 1956 and 1957, and Busby insisted on entering the European Cup despite opposition from the Football League. He feared the travel would be too much. Busby believed English football had to be measured against the best in Europe. The Babes were more than just a team, they were the future. The journey home. Manchester United had just played Red Star Belgrade in Yugoslavia. They qualified for the semi-finals of the European Cup. The team boarded the plane European Airways Flight 609 to return home. Because of the long journey, the plane stopped to refuel in Munich, West Germany. It was snowing heavily, the runway was slushy. The first takeoff attempt failed, so did the second. Against advice, they tried a third. The crash. At 2:56 local time on the third takeoff attempt, the plane accelerated down the runway. But the runway was covered in thick slush, a mixture of snow and ice. The aircraft couldn't reach the speed needed to lift off. It ploughed through the perimeter fence, hit a house, struck a fuel truck. The plane broke apart, passengers were thrown through the wreckage, luggage and debris scattered across the snow. 23 of the 44 people on board lost their lives. Among them were 8 Manchester United players, all part of the Busby Babes. Roger Byrne, 28, the club captain and left back. George Bent, 25, a defender, quiet and dependable. Eddie Coleman, 21, a midfielder, nicknamed Snake Hips. Mark Jones, 24, centre half, strong and fearless. David Pegg, 22, a winger, a local lad and a boyhood fan. Tommy Taylor, 26, prolific striker, one of England's best. Liam Billy Whelan, 22, from Ireland. Duncan Edwards, 21, already one of the best players in the world. Duncan Edwards would survive the initial crash. Doctors fought hard to save him and Duncan fought hard himself, but after 15 days of complications he passed away on the 21st of February. These were men with their whole lives ahead of them. Sir Matt Busby and Jimmy Murphy. Sir Matt Busby was badly injured. Doctors feared he wouldn't survive. He was given his last rites twice. While Busby lay in hospital, his assistant Jimmy Murphy stepped up. With a shattered squad and a grieving city, Murphy rebuilt using youth players, using reserves, using sheer belief. Just 3 months later, United played in the FA Cup final where they would lose to Bolton 2-0. It's football against all odds, and it continued. Old Trafford became a place of mourning, but also a place of strength. Fans sang, the club stood together, and from the ashes, United rose again. In 1968, 10 years after Munich, Man United won the European Cup. Sir Matt Busby lifted the trophy, not just for the club, but for the boys who never came home. Why Munich still matters. Munich is not just history, it is identity. It is why Manchester United stands for youth, courage, togetherness. Every year we remember, every year we honour, because legends never die. They were sons, they were footballers, they were Manchester United. They will never be forgotten. Flowers of Manchester United will never die.